Tucson, located in the south of Arizona, is a region of the Southwest that is filled with natural beauty, historic architecture, and bustling and trendy urban neighborhoods. It is an up-and-coming city with a rich history and a young vibe. Join me on a journey as we explore this fascinating desert region and find out what makes Tucson such an amazing and affordable destination in America's beautiful Southwest. Hey everyone, JP here, and welcome back to another episode of Project Gaia. Today we are in Tucson, Arizona. Now, not a lot of people really know too much about Tucson, Arizona, so I'm hoping this video today will show you how great of a city it is. Now, the city is filled with natural beauty in the surroundings, historic architecture, and a lot of lively urban corridors. And we're going to explore all of the best things to do and see while you're here in Tucson. Now, we're also going to go to Saguaro National Park, which is one of the most beautiful national parks in the country, in my opinion, and it's filled with amazing desert foliage and cactuses as far as your eye can see. So let's start and let's explore beautiful Tucson, Arizona. Tucson is known for its proximity to amazing desert foliage. Just a couple of minutes outside of the city, you will find yourself surrounded by some of the largest concentrations of blossoming desert landscapes you'll ever see. Now, a must-do in Tucson is going to Saguaro National Park. That's Saguaro, not Saguaro. I know it looks like Saguaro, but it's Saguaro. Now, this is one of the largest concentrations of cactus or cacti in the world. So it is an amazingly beautiful park. It has almost a mysterious, ominous, spiritual desert vibe. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through Saguaro National Park, and I'm going to show you a couple really interesting trails, and we're even going to end at a series of petroglyphs left from the ancient native peoples. So it's a very interesting place, and you must see it when you're here in Tucson. So the first trail that I recommend you do when you're here at Saguaro National Park is the Desert Discovery Trail, which is what we're on now. Now, this is a loop trail, so it's about a half mile long, and it's perfect for people with mobility issues, pregnant women, or senior citizens or beginner hikers, because it's not a huge hike, but you really got to get out of your car when you're here, and you got to get into the desert. Okay, you have to see the cactuses, you have to smell it, you have to be next to it, and this offers you that opportunity. And there's not a lot of elevation gain. It's pretty flat and paved, so it's perfect. So definitely check this out if you're a beginner hiker, or if you just want like an easy in and out. The Desert Discovery Trail is a perfect starter trail that allows you to dip your feet into the hiking world and get a taste of the beauty of the desert that Saguaro National Park is so famous for. What it lacks in elevation gain and difficulty, it more than makes up for with its inherent natural beauty. Okay guys, so one thing you have to be prepared for when you're hiking in the desert is there is wildlife. There are rattlesnakes in here, and you can see along here, right under me, you could see the drag of a snake, right? So really be aware when you're walking, look at holes and watch your stepping, because there are snakes and a lot of wildlife in here that you have to be careful for. So the next thing you have to check out is the Bajada Loop Drive. So what this is basically is a scenic drive that takes you right into the center of Saguaro National Park. Now, it is not paved, so make sure your car can handle this. I mean, it is very rugged, but it takes you into the heart of it. So you definitely have to do this trail or drive, and it leads off to a lot of interesting trails as well. So it's definitely something you have to do when you're here in the park. So we saw the lighter trail, the Desert Discovery Trail. Now, if you're a bit more of an avid hiker like me, I like to go hiking. I like the wilderness. If you're physically fit and able to do so, I recommend the Hugh Norris Trail, which is what I'm on now. So it's a pretty difficult trail. It's about an 800 to 1,000 foot initial ascent on like a rocky trail, right? So you got to be pretty prepared to do this. But when you get to the top, you get amazing views of the entire vista of just all the beautiful saguaro cactuses and the desert foliage. So it really is worth it. I'm here in January. If you didn't notice earlier, I had a jacket on. Starting to warm up a bit. this may be very difficult in like the heat of summer. Be very careful about, you know, staying hydrated, being prepared, and not overheating. I like to come in the dead of winter because I'm not a big fan of the heat, so it works out perfect for me because it's a nice cool like 50, 60. The Hugh Norris Trail offers you a sensory experience into the heart of the Sonoran Desert, where towering saguaro cacti surround you in all directions, eerily marking this as their desert territory. As you ascend, the panoramic views unveil a mesmerizing vista of rugged terrain and vibrant desert flora. The trail's diverse ecosystem ensures that you are likely to encounter some desert wildlife. Just be careful out here as it can be very remote. The trail connects you to the timeless spirit of the desert, immersing you in the serene and enchanting whispers of the desert wind. So where we're going now is Signal Hill. Now Signal Hill is a good stopping point for like lunch, and it's a good picnic spot, but that's not the real allure of it. So what is near Signal Hill are these ancient Native American petroglyphs, where they have this writing, this spiritual writing from hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. So you have to go in on a little trail. It's a pretty short walk, shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. But then when you get there, it's really cool to see. So let's go. Stop for lunch at Signal Hill and then make the short ascent to the top of the hill, where you not only swept away by impressive panoramic vistas, but also are greeted by sacred petroglyphs left by native peoples that some archaeologists believe are thousands of years old. Now, an absolute must-do when you're here in Tucson is St. Xavier of the Bach Mission, which is behind us. So this is about 10 miles south of downtown Tucson, and this is the oldest European building in Arizona. So the structure was built in 1783 to the 1790s. However, there was a mission here since 1692. So it actually has become a pilgrimage place because it is one of the oldest Catholic churches in the United States. So people come from all over to come here. It's a religious and spiritual experience. People come by foot and people come by horseback. And it is a beautiful and outstandingly amazing Spanish Catholic church here in the Southwest. And they have masses. It's a currently running Catholic church. So you can come here for mass, you can have your wedding here, you can have your children baptized here. So let's head in. San Xavier del Bach Mission is often considered the cultural jewel of Tucson. This architectural marvel stands as a testament of centuries of history and faith. The impressive interior beckons you into a world where Spanish colonial influence blends quite well with Native American artistry. The stunning frescoes and ornate decor are truly inspiring and make you feel connected to something greater and more powerful than our earthly realm. The mission is a living legacy and spiritual sanctuary that bridges past and present and hope and faith. Step outside the main church and the grounds of the mission are equally impressive. Characterized by colonial Spanish architecture amidst a solemn desert landscape filled with tombs and other memorials to priests and notable people throughout the mission's centuries-old history. Right outside the mission is a great place to sample some local Mexican and Native American homemade foods. And it's so good that stray dogs come from across the desert hoping to pick up some of what you drop. Just a short walk from the mission is Grotto Hill. This spiritual grotto adorns the Virgin Mary, and the irregular-shaped cave at the north end of the hill has earned a reputation as a place of meditative prayer and reflection. It has grown to become an incredibly sacred place, and thousands of pilgrims come here every year so that the Virgin Mary may hear the prayers that they hold dearest to their hearts. So one place that you have to check out when you're here in Tucson is the Tucson Museum of Art. Now, the Tucson Museum of Art is very interesting to me because it really celebrates its local culture and heritage. Now, you go to some of these bigger museums in New York, Chicago, Paris, London, and you're really getting art and artifacts from all over the world. But what this museum does very well is it really focuses on its local heritage. So you're gonna see a lot of like cowboy stuff from Mesoamerica, stuff from the colonial era, and there's a small contemporary art section, but everything kind of goes to the Southwest theme. So it really is cool if you enjoy that kind of art. So let's head in. The Tucson Museum of Art is a cultural gem exhibiting the vibrant tapestry of Arizona's artistic heritage. Nestled in the heart of downtown Tucson, the museum serves as a dynamic hub, fostering creativity and artistic expression from the local area across millennia. As you stroll through its halls, you can really feel the pulse of the Southwest aesthetics and several local influences. It seems as if every brushstroke, every sculpture, and every artifact tells a story. And these stories prove to be a collection of local heritage and really represent what it means to be in the Southwest and surrounded by centuries of Native American, colonial, and early American culture. It's rugged and wild, yet also beautiful and spiritual. What I love about the Tucson Museum of Art is that it is a full-blown museum with several different collections. It is not a small specialty museum, but rather has a vast collection that exhibits many different mediums and several different time periods and styles. However, all of these relate in some way back to the local story of Tucson. So a little interesting landmark here in Tucson that a lot of people don't know about and don't go to is El Tiradito, which is where we are now. So what this is a wishing shrine. So people come here, they put little prayers and wishes on pieces of paper and they insert it into this wall here. People pray a lot for those that are deceased, for if bad health, for some fortunes, maybe a little bit more selfish things as well, but it is a wishing shrine. And what's interesting about it is one of the only shrines in the United States that is dedicated to a quote-unquote sinner, so not a saint. So the man who died here, the legend has it, is that he died fighting for the love of his life and was never able to really get her love. So a lot of people even insert little prayers for him and pray for his soul in purgatory. Make sure to check out El Tiradito. This lesser-known Tucson site is very unique and interesting as it is believed to be sacred, and by inserting a wish or prayer into the small holes surrounding the shrine, it is believed to give those intentions greater power. People swear by it and come from all over to pray for their deceased loved ones or for other special wishes and intentions. Next, check out downtown Tucson. This up-and-coming and lively district is filled with young energy. This is a dining and nightlife area that cannot be missed. Its invigorating and friendly energy is refreshing and metaphorically serves as a lively oasis in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. The vibe is cool and hip, not snobby or dry. when you're here, you for sure have to check out downtown Tucson. Now, downtown Tucson has a very young, kind of hipstery, artsy vibe. Very cool. There's lots of trendy restaurants, bars, lots of things to do. I mean, right now they're even having a food truck station with live music. So it really is a place to come, have a little nightlife, go out to dinner. It is a really cool spot. So we're gonna go explore this a little bit and see the best things to do in the downtown area as well. Most cities west of the Mississippi are pretty car-centric, but due to Tucson's age and being developed before the advent of widespread automobile usage, the area retains a walkable atmosphere more similar to cities in the east. The main thoroughfares are filled with boutiques, restaurants, and nightlife, all of which seem to celebrate the local Tucson heritage. Make sure you check out the historic 4th Avenue corridor in downtown Tucson. This is the quirkiest area filled with bohemian-style stores, nightlife, and art. It has an edgy and young feel, but does not feel dangerous or seedy. This is also one of the city's best nightlife districts, attracting young people from across the region for its high concentration of happening bars. So what you're going to notice when you get to the 4th Avenue district of downtown Tucson is it is incredibly lively, right? So you have a lot of young people, a lot of nightlife, and it has a kind of like really unique vibe, right? So it's like hipstery, almost hippie, I would say. Kind of reminds me a bit of like the East Village in New York, but more southwesty, or like Woodstock, New York. But it's very cool, it's very hip, it's very interesting. So definitely check out this area. Now, if you want a little bit of a more low-key vibe, I recommend you check out the El Presidio district. Now, this district, unlike the downtown section and 4th Avenue, it's much more quiet, but it's a little bit more unique and it's much more historical. So there's a lot of like little kind of hidden nook and cranny bars and restaurants in here. So definitely check this out as well. The El Presidio district is one of the oldest areas of Tucson and has earned a reputation in the last several decades as a sort of artist colony. As you stroll through the streets of El Presidio, you will encounter a lot of hidden gems, from boutiques and art studios to hidden restaurants and garden-style bars and restaurants. It attracts a 30s to 40s crowd, unlike the mostly early 20s crowd to the east where we just were on 4th Avenue. It is also the home to the city's most attractive historic district, filled with old and elegant mansions, speaking to the importance of the district throughout the decades and centuries. While you're in El Presidio, make sure you have dinner at El Chato. This decades-old Mexican restaurant has an attractive old-world interior and is renowned throughout Arizona. Its unique shredded steak dish is known to be one of the best Mexican dishes in the country. Okay, so what I got was the carne seca. So the carne seca basically is like a steak shredded, right? It also comes with rice, guacamole, and beef, and it's amazing. So you should definitely try and check this one out. But the menu has tons of Mexican dishes, kind of with a Southwest Arizona flair to it. So definitely come here. I recommend eating here. The food is amazing. Okay guys, this was Tucson. Now I had an amazing time showing you guys such a unique and interesting city here in the south of Arizona. I mean, it's underrated and it's underknown, and it really shouldn't be, because as you saw, there's so many interesting things to see and do, from the natural beauty to the amazing urban neighborhoods and corridors. Guys, if you like this kind of content, please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, share this video, and leave me your comments below. Let me know if you have any questions at all, or if you have any more suggestions for things to do here in Tucson. Okay guys, until next time, take care. Bye.